Alright, today we'll be stringing the Nike Lakota 2 with a mid pocket. As you can see here, this one is strung with string king type 4. It's got a pretty nice channel, as you can see. So let's get into the stringing tutorial. Okay, now before we begin, just to let you guys know, I have a 9 diamond top string, as you can see here on the second hole of the head. So once again, we're going to do a 9 diamond top string on the second hole of the head, so we can go ahead and get into the pattern. Okay, so I'm using this blue string so that way you guys can see clearly. I already have a knot on the end, so we can go ahead and get started. So we're going to start the pattern on the third hole of the head. Put my string through, up to that first available mesh loop. And then back into that same sidewall hole and up into the same mesh loop. Once again, we're going to pull that all the way through so that it's nice and tight. And that's going to be our starting knot. Just like that. Now we're going to skip one sidewall hole and do an SI, so down to the top of the next mesh hole. We're going to go into the plastic, making sure to skip one sidewall hole. I'm going to come up to this little gap in between the string loop. And then pull this all the way through to get the slack out, up and down. And then taking your leading in or your aglet and going from the bottom and up at that same mesh loop. So there we have an SI. And now after that SI, we're going to skip one sidewall hole and then do a KSI. So we're going to go down to the top of the next mesh hole. We're going to go into the plastic, making sure to skip one sidewall hole. We're going to leave a small loop here on the end. You're going to take your leading in string and go from the back of that loop and through. And you're going to pull your slack from the inside, which is right here. Setting it up on the top rail, pinching the string to the plastic, and then pulling your leading in straight down. So that it's tight, and then going from the bottom up and through that last mesh loop. And there we have a KSI. Okay, and there we have a KSI, so now we're going to do another one without skipping any sidewall holes, so down to the top of the next mesh loop, into the plastic, leaving a small loop, taking your leading in string, going from the back and through, and then pulling your slack from the inside. You're going to pinch the sidewall string to the plastic once again, and then pull straight down with your leading end. And then going from the bottom and up at that last mesh loop. So there we have 2 KSIs. Okay, so after we did those 2 back-to-back KSIs, we're going to do a stacked SI. So we're going to go down to the top of the next mesh loop, and then down to the top of the one following right after that. We're going to take the middle of the mesh, pinch it, and then pull it up towards the scoop. We're going to grab our leading in string, pull straight down so that these loops anchor to the plastic. And now we're going to take our leading in string and go into the sidewall hole, making sure to skip one. And then we're going to go through this loop that we create, as you can see. Pulling this all the way through so we get all that slack out, so up and down. And now to finish out the stacked SI, we're going to take our leading in string and go from the bottom up of that previous mesh loop, and then the bottom up of the first one. So like that. We're going to take the middle of the mesh, pinch it, pull it up towards the top of the scoop one more time, and then go up and then down all the way. So you should see this mesh loop sit on top of the on the previous one. So it should be sitting on top of each other. Right after that that stacked SI, we're going to do a 1 SI. So from the bottom up, the next one. Then we're going to go from the top and down of the next mesh loop. You're going to take your leading in string and go from the outside and in of the plastic. And we're going to leave a small loop, like how we did on these guys up here. Take your leading in string, go from the back and through. You're going to pull your slack from the inside. You're going to take the sidewall string, pinch it to the plastic, and then pull straight down. There we go, we got that knot there. Now from the bottom up of that previous mesh loop, and then before we pull this tight, we're going to pull the middle of the mesh once again up towards the scoop, and then pulling these two away from each other. So this is going to help create our pocket. There we go, we now have some definition. Now after that KSI, or that 1 KSI, we're going to do 2 more. So down to the top of the next mesh loop, into the plastic, leaving a small loop from the back and through that loop. Pulling your slack from the inside. Pinch the sidewall string to the plastic and then pull straight down. And then from the bottom and up of that same loop. And I'm using my hand on the inside here. And then pulling these two away from each other as I pull up and then down on the leading end. There we go. We're gonna do that one more time. Down to the top of the next mesh loop. Into the plastic from the outside. Leaving that small loop once again from the back and through. Pull your slack. Pinch it. Straight down. And then once again, these two are pulling away from each other. So the bottom and up and through. And then pull straight down. There we go. All right, and now to finish off the pocket, we're going to skip the next sidewall hole, go into the plastic first. So we're going to do an interlock here. And then we see we have this next available mesh loop. From the inside, I'm going to take my string and go up and through that loop. And then we're taking our leading in and going through this loop that we left here because we didn't pull the slack all the way through. And then you're going to take the middle of the mesh once again, pinch it, pull it up towards the scoop, pull the string outwards, up, and then down. So that should be very tight. And then you're going to take your string, go from the top and down of that same mesh loop. And then we're going to go from the inside out through this next sidewall hole. So as you can see, I just went back down and through the following one. Pulling this all the way out. And then this is what it should look like from the inside. So you can see it just went over itself and back down and through. And there should be no more, or should be only one sidewall hole left in the head. And then simply all you gotta do is just tie this off. And then there we should be all set. All right, so there we go. Here it is with the blue string all the way done. Like I was saying earlier, really nice to find mid pocket. It's gonna be great for any attackman or midfielder. Once again, pretty nice looking channel, considering how wide the head is. So it's gonna be great for any shooter, feeder, dodger, that sort of thing. So if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, be sure to like it, subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.